So let's come back to this. So now we've seen how to install, download, at least start using, and ways to develop a very brief, fast introduction to Power BI Desktop, which we would again revisit it in our future course content. So now let's break this Power BI into what are the key components of Power BI ecosystem. As per Microsoft and released and experienced by all our developers, these are the components released by Power BI and Microsoft team, which is one, Power BI Desktop. This is a Windows-based application for desktop and PCs, primarily for designing and publishing reports to the service. Please remember, this is your starting point when working with Power BI. What is Power BI service? The second step, as I said, among the top 3 tools we would require is Power BI service. It is a software as a service platform which was earlier known as Power BI for Office 65 and now is known as Power BI.com or simply Power BI. So it's the same thing with different annotations, but what it essentially means, it is a location in the cloud provided by Microsoft team to help developers publish their developed reports into the cloud. Third is Power BI mobile app. This is a very simple Power BI mobile app. If you go into your Android or iOS or a Microsoft Windows marketplace, you would find app which would be a Power BI app. You just need to download a small app, which is a very lightweight app to download, and sign in with your Office credentials. When I say Office, is your corporate email ID and password, because it is all linked to your mail ID and your password. There are no separate IDs and no separate passwords apart from your email ID and password to connect to your Power BI reports. And this is basically the consumer's app, wherein whatever you publish on Power BI service would be available and shared with the concerned person, would be available to those people in mobile apps. There is a strong security in place by Microsoft, wherein no new reports or nobody else's reports are visible to any logged in mobile app user. Power BI Gateway is a tool which syncs any data from in and out of Power BI. It can connect to flows and Power Apps as well. So imagine a gateway is a tool wherein it will pull the data from the data source. It can be any data source, you name it, and then push the data into Power BI service. In this way, it refreshes the data periodically and there is no manual intervention by the end users or any human person to move the data from data source into Power BI. So it is pretty much a gateway wherein the source data is moved into the cloud, Power BI cloud, for the end user's consumption. And this is a human free tool. Once designed and configured and placed into the system, it runs on its own. There is no human intervention and therefore no mistakes, no human errors, no missing timelines, and no asking for data. Everything all answered by just a simple gateway. That's a tool. We'll have a look at it very shortly in our future video. Power BI Embedded. What does Power BI Embedded mean? Power BI provides a REST API that can be used to build your own dashboards and reports, which can be consumed, which can be used into custom application. So Power BI users and non-Power BI users can access and understand the data which has been published. It might so happen that this Power BI has been purchased for n number of users, and that same data needs to be accessed into some other application. So this is a big important point to remember by all the budding developers and current developers, that Power BI provides a REST API which can connect to your Power BI data periodically and use that data to display and consume that data to generate new reports and dashboard in other custom application. This is a slightly advanced topic which we would like to have a look at it towards the end of the entire Power BI understanding. Power BI Report Server. Power BI Report Server is a solution for companies that do not want to put their data onto a completely safe Microsoft cloud. There are companies like finance and medical, due to different restrictions by the federal government, would like to keep data with themselves for their audit and other requirements. For this requirement, Microsoft has come up with my Power BI report server, wherein you own the data, you publish the Power BI reports from the data you own and your on-premise setup. In this case, Power BI Report Server is an excellent tool catering to such domains such as finance and healthcare, especially across the world. The last but not least is Power BI Visuals Marketplace, a marketplace of custom visuals and R-powered visuals. The marketplace is essentially built for as a crowdsourcing mechanism by Microsoft to very quickly scale up their visualization development, and also at the same time help the community which is going towards an open source implementation of their future products. So this is a good way to have an open source development in place along with the container, which is the Power BI monetization by the top companies. What is a Power BI pricing like? Let's have a look at it. What does the pricing look like? Yes. So if we go with the Power BI Pro, it is 9.99 monthly user price per person per month, right? And if there are more than around 350 to 400 users, that's a typical threshold which translates into $10 per user per month into enterprise. That's a threshold you would have to look at it. Do you want Power BI Premium or Power BI Pro? With most of the things which you would like to learn, implement, and share can be handled by Power BI Pro, and that Pro user needs to have a license which can be bought over the web by paying a monthly fee of $10 per user per month. You can have a look at it in different currency rates, as in Australian dollar, it is 30.70, USD being a standard across the world. It is $10 US dollar per user per month, which helps you with self-service and modern BI. It helps you collaborate, publish into Power BI service, share it with the other relevant stakeholders, and do analysis. And it is fully managed by Microsoft, so there is no need to worry about your backups, your security, your storage sizes, etc. On the other side, there is Power BI Premium. It is an enterprise Power BI big analytics cloud and on-premise reporting. You can choose the way you want. Advanced administration controls are given to you, so you are in charge of the administration of this cloud, which can sometimes work for and sometimes against an organization. So it's a model which you would like to pick and choose based on your requirement and need. Dedicated cloud compute and storage resources. It can allow any user to consume Power BI content. Once you have a premium license of $4,995 per month, that would be sufficient to cater to all the users you have in your organization. Typically have a threshold around 350 and at max 500 users, after which you should go for Power BI Premium. This is where it is here. So it's a option between pick and choose. If you're starting fresh, new learning, please opt for Power BI Pro, which would help you quickly learn, understand, develop, and distribute your reports. And if you don't have to purchase this, you can always design your report using Power BI desktop and share the PBIX files to the relevant stakeholders, and they would open it like another tool like an Excel in this Power BI and view the content. So there are ways to work around the system, but the best way is to purchase a Power BI Pro license. Coming back,